half a mile. The tunnel says I can't.
Oh, you were supposed to go home.
Well, I would have, but Dracula was hanging around the boathouse.
Adam?
Well, somebody was. I wasn't going to stick around and make a positive ID.
Well, if he's on the grounds, then he's headed up to the house and we're trapped.
Wrong. We're alone. There's a lock on the door. I say, we relax and enjoy.
The great Palmer Cortlandt, wandering out in the dark, looking for a dead woman.
Lottie's not. Where is Lottie?
I've waited half a lifetime for a chance to grind you into the dust, and here it is, finally. Right here, it's like magic. I can't believe it's too good to be true. Come on, Palmer, come with me.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Come on with me, you addle-pated old goat.
What do you think you're talking to?
A man has gone round the bend.
That is patently absurd.
Oh? Really? Then why are you standing here blabbering like an idiot? And what are you doing on my property? Come on, what are you doing here? I'd love to hear you try to explain it.
Well, not that it's any of your business.
Trespassers on my property are very much my business.
I was exercising the Dobermans.
Oh, really? Well, you should really increase their feed. They're wasting away, poor mutts.
Well, they ran off. Unfortunately, they didn't have the good sense to stay off your property.
I don't buy it. Look at you. You're dressed like a vagrant.
Obviously, you've never chased a pack of Dobermans, or you'd think otherwise.
So you couldn't keep them off my property, but you did manage to teach them to open doors, have you?
What?
Otherwise, why would you be searching in here? We keep that door closed.
It was cold. I was trying to get warm.
Hogwash. You didn't know where you were. You were dazed, Palmer.
Well, it was a brisk run. It kind of makes you... Well, I was feeling perhaps a
little disoriented?
No, a little lightheaded. Run will do. If you'll excuse me.
You were looking for my sister.
You're mad.
You were asking for Lottie.
I was doing no such thing.
You were looking for a woman who's been dead for years. I heard you very distinctly. Now let's let you explain that one.
I must have been talking about one of the dogs.
You have a dog named Lottie?
Ludwig. We call him Luddy.
Nice try. I'll place a phone call to the manor and have someone come and collect.
I don't need to be collected. I can get out of here under my own steam, thank you.
Oh, I need this.
So do I. But we can't. Oh, we just can't.
Oh, my nerve ending can't take this much longer.
We're not playing to Adam's hands.
What do you mean here? I mean, we're staying apart. We're afraid to breathe. We're walking on eggs. It's the pits.
I know.
Adam has whipped up his own personal hell, designed it just for us, and we're in it.
Trevor.
I'm serious, doll. I can't take this hands-off policy.
Yes. How long will it take you to get up to the attic?
Why?
Your wife and her boyfriend are about to make you a very rich man. Thought you wanted to take a look for yourself.
Splendid. Are you recording?
As always.
This is turning into a very glorious evening. I'll be right up.
Forget Adam. Forget everyone else. Just start living in the here and now, doll.
Trevor, please. Try to understand. I cannot let Adam win.
Natalie.
The last time I see his face, I want it to be pale with defeat, not flushed with victory.
Well, how about you don't see him at all? Just sayonara, that's it, Charlie. We live happily ever after.
I can't. Let him take everything. This is my home.
All right. All right, if you want to hang tough, maybe I better say goodnight.
Can you find your way back through the tunnels?
Yeah, I'm used to living underground.
What if Adam's waiting for you at the boathouse?
Well, I'll just wait until Dracula jumps back into the crypt.
Look, Trevor, thank you for understanding.
Yeah. The understanding's wearing kind of thin. In fact, it's about to snap.
Just a minute. False alarm. Your wife chickened out. I almost had her. Oh, you must have gotten something.
Nothing that would impress a judge. Your wife and friend are fond of each other. They don't like you very much. And, a couple of hugs a week.
Well, they can't go on like this forever. Just a matter of time. And I have a talent for outlasting my enemies.
Ever feel too clumsy some mornings to make a pot of coffee? Wake up to
The winner of 7 Soap Opera Digest Awards for Outstanding Leading Actress, General Hospital's Viola Hughes. Outstanding Supporting Actress, Julia Barr of All My Children. Outstanding Heroine, All My Children's Katie McClay. Outstanding Newcomer, Michael Watson of General Hospital. Outstanding Villain, General Hospital's Ken Schreiner. Outstanding Villainess, Lynn Herring of General Hospital. And Outstanding Storyline, General Hospital. Your favorite stars are here on ABC Day TV.
That's right. Get all the Minnesota brands first, then get hold of the Belson Brothers. All you can get your hands on. That's right. And remember, I want this rolling at first bell. You understand me? Fine. Good. Well, too bad you lost your edge. You would have liked this one. You would have loved it, as a matter of fact.
Loved what?
You remember the good old days when you and I worked as a team?
We never had any good old days, Adam. You went straight from the I-do's to grand larceny.
Not as fast as your beeline to Trevor Dillon. But no, let's forget all that for the moment. Search the recesses of your little brain for the one thing that we actually had in common way back then.
We never had anything in common.
Oh, how quickly you forget. Our tender courtship, the sweet nothings I whispered in your ear, things like, let's get Palmer Cortland.
True, our entire relationship was based on hate and revenge. How prophetic.
You were after Palmer's hide, too, honey. Well, I'm about to get it.
Palmer's hide. I don't see how. You've been far too busy going after mine.
Well, I'm very good. I can take hides off 2 beasts at a time.
Well, besides, last time I looked, Palmer was still wearing his skin.
Look again tomorrow.
What are you talking about?
Well, you've been busy wasting your time in the pursuit of lust. I've been busy buying up all the Cortland electronic stock I could get my hands on, little by little.
Go on.
And I made quite a foothold into his independent companies, too.
Well, I know where this is heading, and don't kid yourself. Palmer's too shrewd to let you stage a takeover. He'll stop you.
No, I don't think so.
He watches those stock transactions like a hawk.
Well, this hawk has just turned into a goose. Yes. Palmer's going senile.
What on earth gave you that impression?
I just ran into him. He was standing in the boathouse.
Our boathouse?
With this dazed expression on his face. He was actually blabbering. He had no idea where he was. It was wonderful.
I don't understand. Was he sick?
No, he's not sick yet, but he is going to be when I get done with it. The sickness of defeat, wretched and painful. I can't wait.
If what you're saying is true...
It's true. Absolutely, without a doubt, the man is losing his faculties.
Well, then, how on earth could you derive any pleasure from hurting him? What possible thrill is there in attacking someone who can't fight back?
Oh, poor Natalie. Sleeping with a public servant doesn't agree with you. You've gone all soggy.
You have less compassion than any human being I've ever known.
Oh, well, if it's compassion that turns you on, you ought to thank me.
Why?
For relieving you of all that money. For a person like you, wealth is only a burden.
You son of a...
But thanks to me, you can spend the rest of your life ministering to the halt and the lame.
You are so sick.
Oh, no. Not I. But don't worry, darling. There'll be plenty of suffering souls for you to take care of. Who knows? Palmer Cortland may even be one of them.
Oh,
So, Mr.
Okay, Left Bunny, maybe you're right. Maybe we are just a pack of hysterical dingbats.
Precisely.
But you, being the sensitive, understanding man that you are, really ought to just put the kibosh on all our worries. You know, nix 'em permanently.
What the devil do you think I've been trying to do?
Well, there's only one way that you can do that,
Yeah, what's
Honey
that?
Bunch. Well, is to march yourself over to Pine Valley Hospital tomorrow morning and have those tests that Joe told you about.
No, that's out of the question.
Uncle's right, Uncle Paul.
You know how I feel about hospitals.
everything turned out okay last time.
I have no intentions of
Just
going to
think
the
how
hospital.
great it would be to have them all come out just A-OK. You could come back here, look at all of us and glow.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Oh, interrupt, please. Just please interrupt.
Natalie Chandler is here.
Get rid of her.
Well, I tried, Palmer, but she insists on seeing you.
Excuse me, Palmer, please. It's important.
Whatever it is, I'm not interested.
Palmer, it's urgent and I don't have long.
I don't know what lapse of judgment brought you here uninvited.
Palmer, you've got to hear me out.
A lot of you insist on eating wheat thins and oat thins because they taste good. But the whole idea behind these crackers is that you can eat them without feeling guilty. That's why they're good.
What are you trying to do? Use my home as a refuge from the tabloids?
Oh, believe me, Palmer, it's nothing like that. I wouldn't have come here if it weren't a matter of survival.
I'm not interested in your survival.
It's not mine. It's yours. I want to help you.
Help you? You take me for a fool, really.
Maybe we just ought to listen to what she has to say, honey.
The day I come to her for help is the day they're going to stash me in an institution for defectives.
Would you please listen to me?
No, never.
Palmer,
I don't-
believe me, I would not come here and waste my time if I didn't think you really needed to hear what I
I
had.
need nothing from you.
Palmer, please, I just want to share something with you.
Share. The only thing you want to share is misery. You live, you breathe it, you spread it around wherever you go.
There's no need to get testy.
I just so happen to be in a position to save your life.
My life does not need saving, no. And if it did, I certainly wouldn't go to the town slattern to do it.
Uncle Palmer, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Natalie. He's been in a foul mood all day.
Yes, I can see that.
He didn't mean a word of what he said.
I certainly did. What are you, my interpreter? I want this woman out of my house immediately.
All right, fine, have it your way, but believe me, Palmer, this is the most expensive bad mood you've ever had.
Weren't you just a little bit curious what she had to say?
Did I look curious?
You were really hard on her.
I don't need your critique on my behavior, any more than I need monitoring on an hourly basis. So if you would all please mind your own business, I would just go...
Hi, Mr. Cortland. Did I come at a bad time?
Charlie, we're having a little family discussion.
Yeah, the family discussion is over as of now. Charlie, you stay. I want a word with you privately. The rest of you, out. Out, please. Go. Go. So, you're playing me for the fool, hmm? You thought you could take my money and then betray me.
What I want to know is how the hell you got this damn thing up in your room in the first place.
Well, I had some guys from the dorm help me, and we didn't have wheels.
Well, where are they when we need them?
Probably hiding.
No, they're going to help me load the stuff into the van.
All right, right here, dump it.
And then we're going to go out and we're going to celebrate.
What time should I expect you?
Well, I'll be late, so don't wait up for me, okay?
All right, that's fun.
I want to go back to the room and check, make sure I didn't forget anything.
Thanks. See you later.
Great. We do the work. He gets to go to the party. Are we invited to the party? No, we're not.
Welcome to parenthood.
I say we go out and fortify ourselves with some red meat and ale. What do you say? Come
Well, you go ahead. I still have something to do here.
What, something here at the dorm?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know what that is, but... Am I going to say anything? No, I'm not going to say anything.
What is it that you're not going to say?
Well, I'm not going to say it. It's obvious to me you're looking for a particular blonde, and that said blonde has obviously got you hooked.
Why not?
Why? Well, because I'm not a big-mouth friend that's going to go shooting off his mouth about something he doesn't know anything about and something he shouldn't be talking about.
You know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I jumped down your throat.
Which is?
An apology for one thing.
And for another thing?
An admission.
Yeah?
You were on the right track.
Which is?
Listen, it was hard for me to admit it to myself, but now I do. I'm in love with Sil.
You really got a problem here, don't you? What are you going to do about it, huh?
Enough now, okay?
What kind of answer is that?
All this time and not a single slip. Apparently Natalie has more self-control than I gave her credit for.
Well, she's a cautious one, I'll tell you that.
Well, they can't keep this up forever.
Dylan can't, but I'm not so sure about your wife.
Well, let's give Dylan a little help, shall we? Maybe give Natalie a push.
Do you have any suggestions? Sir, I better disappear.
Wait. No. You stay right where you are.
If you're not a little nervous, then you're not alive. Just 'cause something...
977.
Everything was quiet. When suddenly I heard it all the way from the...
Yellow.
Trevor, it's me. I have wonderful news.
What, did somebody drive a stake through Adam's heart?
He called off the detectives. He fired them.
I don't know, Doll. Why would he do that?
Oh, because he's so stingy, can't bear to part with money, especially if he's not getting instant results.
You sure about that?
Positive. I overheard him talking to Spiegel. You do know what this means, don't you, darling?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Wait, right now.
No, not yet. Wait. I want to wait until Adam's next business trip. We've waited this long. I want to make sure we feel completely safe.
So do I, my darling. So do I.